Let's begin. All right. Take a nice comfortable seat, and you can take cross-legged if you like. You can kneel if you prefer. And this is our yin for the spring equinox, which is in 2 days' time. So Ostara, pagan festival, bringing the hands down onto the abdomen, and you can interlace the fingers there if you like, just quite loosely around the belly, and really allow the belly to be soft. Try not to pull the abdominal muscles in at all, but rather just let the belly kind of rest out in the palms of your hands. And then you can choose to close the eyes if you like, or taking a soft gaze, and just start to become aware of your surroundings first and foremost, your place that you choose to practice. Almost envisaging the four walls, the ceiling and the floor as this sacred space. And your mat is your sacred rectangle of space as well, that we devote our time and effort towards our practice. And be very much aware through the practice today of your facial expression. I would welcome you to invite a smile, just lifting the corners of the mouth up, as the spring equinox also lands on World Happiness Day, or should I say World Happiness Day lands on spring equinox, because the equinox was there well before World Happiness Day. And just find your breath, breathing in and out through the nostrils, soft, steady, equal, rhythmic, relaxed, and easy. And as the breath comes in, you feel obviously the lungs fill with air, but also the belly inflates, the sides of the body open and expand a little bit more as well as the diaphragm pushes down. And then the exhale, everything softens, relaxes back into place. It's really feeling the diaphragmatic breathing. Lungs fill, diaphragm pushes down, belly expands. And then exhaling, relaxing everything back into its place. And the spring equinox is where the day and the night are of equal length. The darkness and the light just balance each other out. It's also a time, obviously, where we enter spring, a time of blooming and flourishing and getting warmer, all of those things as the plants, the trees come out of, and animals come out of hibernation, as do we. The sequence of nature as it cycles and shifts, with the vow of spring, nature's greatest of gifts. A time of creation, a time of rebirth, where life arises from Mother Earth. New beginnings, an eager, fresh start. A chance once again to follow your heart. Rejoice in the promise that the equinox brings, and may you find balance and peace with all things. And with those words of that little poem in mind, balance and peace with all things, but also yourself and your practice today. Remembering that little smile through the practice, always trying to find the enjoyment, the comfort, and the pleasure in postures, particularly when we hold them for a few minutes. Release the hands to the knees. Feel the warmth of the body still in the palm of your hands. Wiggle the fingers. Gently bring some movement back into all of the joints of the hands and the wrists. Start to circle out through the wrists. You might like to give them a little shake out. And then gently circling the shoulders up and back. Give those a big circle, as if you're awakening from your hibernation, preparing to step out of your comfortable place where you spent the winter. Lifting the arms up above the head, take hold of one of the wrists and reach up and over, stretching the side body, and try to ground yourself a little bit through the hip that's starting to lift away. And then reach up as you come into center, changing the side, taking hold of the other wrist. Dropping over as much as is comfortable again, grounding through both sit bones. Nice. Bring yourself back into center. The arms release out in front of you and then interlace the fingers and just push the knuckles away as you drop the belly to the spine, drop the chin to the chest. And scoop out the front of the body. So creating this big space. And then lifting the arms up above the head, circle them back, take the arms behind you, fingertips face forward and lift the chest. So big stretch open through the spine. Again, you're thinking about awakening, greeting the sunlight. Might just be your lights above you. Nice and slowly bring yourself back into center and then give yourself a little twist. Opening out to the side. Deep breath in and out there and take it to the other side. And let us prepare to get moving. So, taking yourself into your tabletop position. Finding the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And start to move the hips left and right. And the head left and right goes in opposition. So, head goes left, hips go right. Little S bend. And head goes right, hips go left. So you're just swaying on top of the shins and the knees. Looking back as far as is comfortable towards the feet, just shifting hips over to the side of the mat. And then bring yourself back into center and start to introduce a little circle. So circling the hips forward and back to child's pose. Coming forward over the wrists, making sure that the body feels nice and comfortable with the movement, using the breath There's a gentle control of the abdominals here. So the belly isn't hanging out, but you're gently pulling the abdominals back a little bit. And once you've done 3 or 4 one way, exhale, circle back the other way. Reminding yourself of the smile for practice today, World Happiness Day in a couple of days. And the last time, we're going to widen the knees, bring the big toes to touch, and then just rest back nice and gently into your wide leg child's pose. You can keep the hands out in front of you if you like, or you might wish to bring the hands underneath the head. Soften here, relax the belly, relax the back. And as you take this moment to just pause and reflect on our practice to come, which is to celebrate the balance of a light and dark, maybe draw an intention in for yourself and your own practice, finding balance, finding peace. Slowly bring yourself back up into tabletop. Bring the knees back into parallel and find your cat and cow. Inhaling, looking forward, opening the chest, dropping belly. Rounding up through the spine for cat as you breathe out. And just move that with your breath. And last time, rounding up into cat, just staying and holding in cat. You can come up onto the fingertips if you like here to get it a little bit higher. Make sure the chin is tucked in towards the chest, belly is pulling up to the spine is rounding, the shoulder blades are separating. And then release back to kneeling. And we're going to tuck the toes for a toe squat. And yes, this is where a smile might help. But tucking those toes underneath as much as is comfortable, bringing the weight forward if it's too deep for you into the toe joints. Let's sit and stay. Lift the corners of the mouth up, relax the face into a smile. Focus on your smile rather than the stretch in your toes. Still smiling, still breathing. Release the hands forward, come off of the toes slowly and gently. Relax them back. Take a moment just to recover. We're going to go into that ankle stretch from here. So that means that we come back towards the heels. And this might be enough of an ankle stretch for you, even just kneeling. If you want to deepen that challenge, again, we hold for about 1.5 minutes. Try to get the heels underneath the buttocks. Start to lift the knees, maybe coming away from the mat. And if you really want to challenge yourself, scooping up through the belly, hands come to the knees. Good. So we're resting on the tops of the feet, either kneeling. So try to release the toes away from you. Toes are nice and flat. Good. Again, finding this relaxed facial expression with a little hint of a smile. And calming forward, nice and slowly, of course, and bringing the hands forward, tucking the toes. We're going to pull back into a dangle. So if you wish, you can use your bolster here to rest the head in the dangle, but just come off of those feet a little bit and just work through the toes, work through the ankles, bend into the knees, drop the belly, the chest down onto the thighs, and then let the head relax down. And if you want to dangle the arms down, that's great too, or you might just take hold of the elbows. We're here for 1 or 2 minutes again, so you feel the forward fold that you need most. Try to relax into the fold, trying to keep the belly and the chest close to each other. Resting on the thighs. Remind yourself of that little smile. Great work. Try to keep the weight into the toes as much as you can. The heels are nice and light. You're not taking most of the weight back into the heels, therefore back into back of the legs. And let's release the hands nice and slowly. Bend the knees, lift the chest just a little bit into a little bit of a spinal stretch there, a half lift with the knees bent. Looking forward, and then widen the feet out for your yogi squat. And you can use a block underneath the sit bones here as well. So resting on the block, good. So lengthening the spine here, opening the chest, bringing the hands in towards the heart. We're here for a couple of minutes, so make sure you're comfortable and really find that balance to stay and hold. Good. Focusing on that relaxed facial expression and smile. Let gravity just take you into the squat. Wonderful work here. Breathing, smiling, relaxing into the squat. And from here, some people may be able to rest the sit bones down. I'm not one of those, so I'm going to have to bring the hands behind me to sit down. Good. Extend the legs from there, just a little bit wider than your mat. So just sit nice and tall, just move left and right. Give yourself some circles. Then you can bend up the knees and circle out there as well. And then just drop the left knee in a little bit. Release out into that hip after the squat. That's it. Nice. And then roll it over. Drop that left knee in. Little hip flexor stretch there. And then let's come into butterfly pose. So soles of the feet come together. You can always sit on a block here. And your choice here is you can bring the feet in as close as you like. You can hold on to the feet here and keep a nice straight spine. You might take hold of the ankles, but we are going to take a fold forward. So just free up the buttocks there. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. Lengthen the spine and then reach the chest forward. So that you're coming forward over the feet. And the head drops down towards the heels. That's it. Nice. Now we are going to stay here for a number of minutes. So drop the head nice and slowly, relaxing into the weight of the head. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And the belly starts to naturally pull back towards the spine. Remind yourself of that relaxed facial expression with the corners of the mouth turning up into your smile. Using the breath to guide you through any tightness, tension, gripping, clenching, challenge and discomfort, but only working towards your edge, never putting yourself into a place of pain. Allowing gravity to take you deeper and deeper into the posture, using your exhale to release effort. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Prepare to move and start to think about pulling navel back to spine. Keep the chin to the chest and bring the shoulders back up in line with the hips. And then the last thing to unravel is the neck. And then the gaze looks forward to the front of your mat as you sit nice and tall. Lift the knees together. And then give yourself a little squeeze there. So press the palms into the sides of the knees. Give them a little squeeze. Let's come down onto our backs now after that fold in the butterfly. So you might need to just shovel, move yourself forward of your mat, gently rolling down, and then just draw the knees lightly in towards the chest and start to rock and roll left and right. So you can start to feel the sides of your waist, the sides of the spine, and then start to circle the knees, massaging a little bit more into the lower back. And get that little bit bigger. Knees come further away from you, and then they pull into the chest, and then nice and slowly go the other way. So start off with tiny movements, and eventually they get bigger. Knees pull further away from the belly. That activates the core muscles just a little bit. And bring yourself back into center. Arms come out into cactus. So bend at the elbow, backs of the hands down. Make sure the shoulders are nicely spread. Keep the feet off of the mat. Knees are together. We're just going to go left and right with the knees. Head goes left, knees go right. And the feet might touch. The knees might not touch. Try to keep that left shoulder planted. Use the core, bring yourself back into center. Head goes right, knees go left. Feet might come down, knees might come down, but try to keep that right shoulder planted. Lovely. Let's come back into center all together. Do it once or twice more. Exhaling as you release. Inhale, abdominals engage, center. Exhale over to the other side. Good control with the movement and the breath. Back into center last time. Exhale, knees go right, head goes left. Inhale, core engages to bring you into center. And over to the other side. So it's just firing up the abdominals just a little bit. Bring yourself back into center. Take the feet wide of your mat. Bring the hands down onto the belly. Knees rocking towards one another. Constructive rest. Take a moment to rest. Spine, abdominals, hips, outer and inner. Heel toe, feet into parallel. Come into your reclined pigeon or reclined swan. Right leg crosses over your left. And you're going to interlace your fingers behind that left thigh, relaxing the left foot down towards the left buttock. Draw that left knee in towards the chest. And you might use your right elbow to leverage that right knee out towards the side. There's a gentle flexion into that right foot. You're pressing that right sole of the foot away. Facial expression soft and relaxed. Gentle smile. Neck is long. Spine is connected. This is a great one if you do spend a lot of time sitting down at a desk or on a sofa or in a car, try to feel where your target areas are in this posture and smile and breathe into those target areas. Just a few more breaths here. Notice how deep you have gone since we started. And that's all as a result of your breath and your smile. Start to relax the hands, release the left foot down, but keep the right foot where it is for a moment. Just gently press that right knee out by itself. And then we're going to roll over onto the thigh. So you keep your right foot connected. So you're rolling onto your right hip, right thigh. That's it. And that right foot gently presses down onto your left knee. And here you might open the arms out to the side. So you get a little bit of a stretch in the left back hip, really. Left spine. We're not holding this one for long. This is just a release. Nice and slowly, bring yourself back into center. Release the foot and take a rest before you come to the other side. Left side. Left foot goes over right knee. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh. And gently draw that right knee in towards you. Notice as soon as you come into this posture, you might notice one side was particularly easier or more challenging than the other. Know how to face challenge. The left elbow might help the left knee push out just a little bit more, but keep drawing that right knee in towards the chest. Remind yourself to breathe and smile into the areas of tightness that you feel. Where are your target areas in this posture? Might be in a groin, might be outer hip. Letting your breath guide you. Noticing how much you've deepened into the posture as you've been there holding. Take that deep breath in. Last deep breath out in this posture as you release the hands. Place the right foot down. Keep the left where it is. And then just roll onto your left hip. And maybe the left knee drops down. And you start to use the left weight of the left foot to pull that right knee down. And again, arms just might gently come out to the side of you. So your chest is open up towards the sky. Both shoulders are planted. Right hip, right buttock is pulling away from the mat. Dropping into that left knee, pulling down the right knee. And then bring it back into center. Realign. Place the feet down. Soles of the feet in line with the hips. Little pelvic tilts here just to release those glutes. So tiny lift through the pubic bone, lifting away from the mat and rolling down. So scoop the belly in towards the spine. Each and every vertebra comes down one after the other, lifting up once more into these nice smooth pelvic tilts. Good. Lifting up into bridge and then rolling down. So draw those knees in nice and tight now. Get the thighs as much as you can onto the belly. Deep compression there. Find the breath still. Pull the thighs closer, closer, closer. Squeeze the organs underneath the thighs. And then if you like, and it's okay for you to do so, lift the head and the shoulders. Hug the knees. Tight, tight ball. Still find the breath. Lift the head a little more in towards the knees. And gently release. Whoa, let those organs breathe. Roll the knees over to the right side. Take your time. Let's come up to seated. Let's find our half butterfly. So extend the right leg out. Left leg comes in to the thigh. And you can always use a block underneath that knee if you need to there. Okay. Or if you don't need that block, you can use it for the lateral stretch. So you choose either on the inside of the leg or the outside, outside being more challenging. Okay. I'm going to start on the inside, but we're going to turn our arm in line with our leg there, and then drop the arm down onto the block or onto your shin, lift up the top arm, and then it just relaxes over the head. And then open up the rib cage, maybe the gaze goes up towards the sky. Yeah, and if that's all a bit too much, release that top hand. Good, it doesn't have to be there, it's just extra weight for the head. So, Dad, you can lower your hand down onto your head or down on your thigh. That's it. Yeah. So keep rolling open your rib cage. Yes. Looking underneath the armpit if you can. Looking up towards the sky. Dropping into that right side. Big lateral side stretch. Yeah, one of the more challenging yin postures. Remind yourself of the softness through the facial expression and the smile. Release any effort with your exhale breath. Good, doing great. Release the top hand, keep the body where it is. Nice and slowly roll yourself up to the center. Take time to do that. Come out of that deep lateral side stretch. Good. Release the legs, change sides. So again, choosing where the block goes. If you've got two blocks, you might have one underneath the knee, just supporting there. And then choosing either inside or outside of the leg. Say outside is a little bit more open and challenging. Roll the rib cage open, lift up the arm, and then that elbow might just rest on top of the head. If it doesn't quite meet the head, then just rest the hand there so that you're not holding the arm up, basically. Open the gaze to the sky if it feels comfortable, or you can always look down. But keep rolling open rib cage in that lateral stretch. Remember those words of peace and balance. Much needed in some of these more challenging holds. Breathe into the smile. Almost there. A few more breaths. Doing great. Release the top hand first of all. Then push yourself up from the mat. Lifting up. Sitting nice and tall. Well done. Let's extend the legs. Let's release into those knees. Give the knees a little shake. Let's come on to our prone position for Sphinx. So swing the legs around behind you and just drop down onto the full belly here. Relax everything. Head to hands and just sway out through the hips. So widening the feet if you need to, making sure all 10 toes are connected to the mat. The heels aren't rolling in towards one another. They're up to the sky. Sphinx pose, arms comes out in front of you. Forearms, palms are down, dropping into the pelvis, opening up the chest. Try not to let the chest drop and the shoulders creep up towards the ears. So you're going to press into the forearms, open up the chest a little bit more, and lengthen the space away from the ears and shoulders. Good. So there is a slight engagement here in the abdominals. You're going to slightly pull those back in towards the spine. Drop pubic bone and pelvis in towards the mat. Relaxed facial expression with a hint of a smile. Keep alert through the posture. If the body starts to sag or relax too much, keep pressing away from the earth through the forearms and the elbows, lifting the chest, dropping pelvis. Nice and slowly, widen the elbows and roll down belly, rib cage, chest. Bring big toes to touch once more. Let the heels relax out to the sides and just relax everything here, belly included. Spine softens, hips sway from side to side. Nice and slowly press yourself back through tabletop. This is just a releasing stretch here. So press back to child's pose nice and softly, and then come back up into tabletop and release the spine for cat and cow there. Go easy after your back bend of Sphinx. And then let's just release the right foot forward to your dragon. We're going to stay in a twisted dragon for 1 minute. So left hand comes across the right knee. Right hand might just go to the sacrum. These are only 1 minute holds. Twisted dragons. Yeah, drop the hips down. Nice. Twist the torso towards that front thigh. These are not long holds, so just bear with the posture. Be guided by that smile and your breath. And release back into center. And pull the hips back as you sweep that leg back. Left leg comes forward. Right hand reaches across and left hand places on the sacrum, giving it a little press. Twist the torso to the left thigh. Relax the shoulders. Drop into the hips as much as is comfortable. A few more breaths just to finish off that minute. And release the hands forward. Pull the hips back. Release the left leg. Great work. Let's come into frog from here. So you can go sideways onto your mat if you like. If you're on a hard surface, you might like to just double up the corners of your mat. Knees go nice and wide, and you can use your bolster or pillows. We are here for a number of minutes, so get comfortable. Toes are turning towards the shins. There's a flexion through the ankle. And find the resistance point to stay and hold. Remind yourself of that smile and the breath, easing out the effort, letting gravity do the work for you here. Only going as deep as your body allows. Start to rock the body forward a little bit, away from the resistance. Bring the big toes to touch behind you. Use the arms to push yourself back. And nice and slowly you come back through tadpole and carefully bring the knees together into a high kneel. Woo! Nice one. Almost to end is a shoelace, a seated shoelace, which is basically our cow face legs. So we're going to do this seated. So your options are half shoelace, which means the left leg goes over the right, or if you are doing the double-legged variation, knees are stacking on top of one another, the toes are turning forward. These are my worst ever postures. So you sit nice and tall, or you can take a fold. Oh, to deepen that posture. Yeah. So that's it. Great. Now we are holding. Oh, see if I can hold. Smile and breathe. Let gravity do the work for you here. Unraveling from the fold, sitting upright. See if you can drop the knees just a little bit more there. Great. And nice and slowly unravel. Woo. Take it to the other side. You might find that one side is particularly easier or more challenging than the other. You can, of course, sit on a block. I should have told you that the first side. Trying to get the knees on top of one another, toes are facing forward, or you are extending the underneath leg. Great. And you can stay upright, of course, or you can take the fold. Yeah, well done. Dropping into this one. Another couple of minutes here. relax into it. It's our last one that's seated before we come down onto our backs. Nice and slowly roll up through the spine, come back up into seated. Drop the knees a little bit more here. And unravel the legs carefully. Give the legs a little shake out. And just move left and right. Well done. Make yourself warm as we come down onto our backs. Put some socks on if you need to, a jumper. Have all of the props by the side of you that you need for Shavasana. We've got one more posture, right and left, before we come into our final relaxation. But gently draw the knees in towards the chest. Nice big squeeze of the thighs in towards the belly. So there's a deep compression there. So when we look at spring practices, they're almost like a spring clean of left and right postures, working with the digestive organs. So in the monthly newsletter of March, there was a spring yin clean practice. And then release the legs all the way down the mat. Take a moment to rest in Shavasana. We're going to go into a reclined spinal twist. So drawing right knee in towards the chest. Roll over onto the left hip. And that knee might rest on a block, a bolster, or just relax down onto the mat, opening up the arms if it feels comfortable to do so. Open the chest up towards the sky. Try and draw the right shoulder down. And if you wish, looking towards your right hand. So here, relax the facial expression as you smile softly, enjoying the last and final posture of our Spring Equinox and World Happiness Day practice today. Taking the focus down in towards the digestive organs here in this beautiful twist. Sending nourishment, oxygen and blood prana and energy, happy gut, happy body. Take a breath in, breath out. Prepare to move. Bring the head back first, then the body. Release that right leg all the way along the mat. Left knee this time comes in towards the chest. You give that thigh, a quick squeeze on the left side digestive organs. And then rolling over onto your right hip, taking that leg across with you, opening up the chest and shoulders if it feels comfortable, looking towards the left palm and dropping that left knee down. So just noticing right and left sides for yourself here. Breathing into all of the digestive organs once more. Just a few more breaths here. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, bring the head back. And relax everything back into the center. Extend that left leg. Take a moment just to come out of that twist, relaxing all of the belly, the spine, the sides of the body. Draw the knees in, roll and massage out through the lower back there, circling the knees one way and the other, and let's prepare for final relaxation by lying down, turning off lights if you are able to, making yourself comfortable with bolsters underneath the knees, eye pillows, pillows underneath the head, blankets to keep warm. Don't let the body get cold. My feet are cold. And really take as much space as you have around you, where the feet and the hands are not touching anything, to the sides of you. So if you've got a sofa there, maybe bring the hand in a little bit. If you're touching a block, just move the block out of the way and make sure that the fingers are just gently curling themselves in towards the palms. The shoulders are nicely spread out and you can feel the middle of your back connecting in towards the mat. The neck is long, chin is not tucked or lifted. Facial expression is relaxed and those corners of the mouth just gently turning themselves up into a little smile. And as the mouth smiles, so does the face. And even though the eyes are closed, you feel that the eyes are smiling behind the lids. And find that steady breath that we started off with, where the belly rose up on the inhale, really filling, nourishing all of those wonderful organs, including the heart, filling the lungs, and then exhaling, softening and releasing. Remain present where you are, that sacred space on your rectangle mat and your sacred room where you choose to practice. I'll leave you for moments of silence. I'll let you know when it's time to come back around. Beginning to take a deep breath in. Slow, long, deep breath out. Bringing movement into the feet, the hands, wiggling fingers and toes, moving ankles and wrists. Start with just the extremities. Then you can start to move the head and the neck, just releasing left and right. Lifting the arms up above the head, giving yourself a big stretch, reaching the feet away, reaching the arms away. You feel the sides of the body stretching. Gently pull the navel down towards the spine, spine in towards the mat. Changes the shape of the spine and the pelvis there. And then gently draw the knees in to roll out and massage. If you like, opening up the hips a little bit. And taking time to roll over to the right side. Pausing there. Pressing yourself up, returning up to a comfortable seat. Bringing the hands into the heart center, soften the shoulders down the back, draw the navel in this time, tight, trying to get tiny little engagement into the abdominals. Breathe deep into the abdomen, into the belly, diaphragmatic breath once more. And remind yourself of your own personal intention for peace and balance and happiness and the enjoyment of spring, and also for ourselves, this spring clean of the body and the digestive system as well as the mind. And always thank yourself for your practice. And I thank you. Namaste.